What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 226, and we start today's episode off by reviewing the youth squad as we enter a new month. We're now into April, and we also see that João Cancelo has picked up a training injury and is going to be out for 2 months. So that means he will miss the rest of the season, which kind of sucks. We don't use him that much anymore now that Carrasco's been converted to right back, but even so, it's not good. So what I might do is recall Todd Kane, who's currently out on loan, just because he's a backup right back, and we can just sort of have him there. It won't cost too much money, and it will just be for peace of mind, really. But also, we promoted a young player who wanted to cancel his contract in the last episode, which I didn't talk about because I didn't have the time. He wanted a pro contract, so we gave him one. He looks like he's got good potential, but a terrible overall, as you'd expect. And yeah, we'll try and send him out on loan in the summer. If not, then well, he'll never get used, really, will he? But anyway, here is a scout report, scout report, a squad report. Always get those two mixed up. Here's a squad report. You can check out how the players are doing. I'm still really surprised that Junior Malanda is decreasing in stats. I'm not really sure why that is, but even so, the team does look unbelievably strong. I've talked about it before. I have no idea what I'll be looking to do next year if we're still with Millwall, which, fingers crossed, I hope you guys will let me stay here. I'm not really sure what I'll be looking to do because the squad just looks unbelievably good, both the first 11 and in depth as well. But I'm sure we'll figure something out. It does look fantastic. Loads of good young players coming through, and there are some, older players who would like to shift on and so on. But it still looks fantastic. Here's a look at the league table, though. 10 games to go. We are 9 points behind Spurs. So yeah, I talked about it in the last episode. I really don't think we're going to be able to catch them. I know I said that last season, and we all know what happened last season. But this season's a bit different. Last season there was like 2 or 3 teams, Chelsea, Millwall, and Spurs, who kept on changing at the top month by month, who was first, who was second, who was third. This year Spurs have been top since what, November? I don't think they're going to drop, so it looks as though it will be Spurs' title, which is fine because they're our former club anyway, so it's nice to see them do well. But even so, I don't think we're going to be able to reduce the deficit, and yeah, it looks like we have to settle for second place, to be honest. But anyway, we took on Everton for the first game of today's episode, and I've said before, I have no idea why Everton never do well on career mode. It really does surprise me. They seem like they've got all the makings to go on to be a decent side in career mode, just like they would in real life, with a good setup, a good manager, a lot of good young players, but they never seem to do well. But even so, we take them on, and the first chance would result in the first goal of the game as well, in the 26th minute, as Oscar Polo gets to this header from Brian Carrasco's free kick, and it's a wonderful little curled ball in. I've talked about it many times before. It seems to be something I'm relatively good at. It's a good ball in, and it's a good finish by our striker, who, I'm not going to say he's been a bad signing, but for £30 million, I'll just say I was hoping for a bit more fireworks. But even so, he gets the goals every now and then, and he does get one there. So Millwall went over to 0, and directly from kickoff, they give the ball away. Danny Ings goes on a run, swings in across, and it is the striker who goes for the header, but unfortunately it goes just wide of the post and out for a goal kick. So still 1-0, but the early chances coming to us. However, in the 42nd minute, Milsom collects the ball for Everton and rolls it through towards the run of Ravel Morrison, and it's a 2-on-3, and I don't know what happened to my centre-backs there, but as Morrison slices the ball into Kevin Morales, I seem to get in the way with with Dia in Liali's way, and it was a simple finish for the Belgians. So Morales makes it 1 apiece. Just before half-time, Everton are level, so that was really poor defending by me. But on the stroke of half-time, we go through with Danny Ings here. He's got the pace to beat John Stones. He goes down the left-hand side, nice little double step over, cuts back, gives it to Triggs. I give the ball away, but it comes back to Glenn Robinson, who shoots, but it goes just wide the post and out for a goal kick. So our big money signings, they haven't been bad for us, but you would expect a little bit better. But even so, still 1 apiece, as Robinson, one of our first big money signings, misses a good chance there. But in the 45th minute, well, this was just brilliant. What a finish this is by Danny Ings. The tightest of angles there, as Suzo's Rabona cross is met by Oscar Polo. He hits the post, and Danny Ings, from the tightest of angles, somehow squeezes it in. What a finish that is. If that is an inch to the left, it hits the post. An inch to the right, and it just goes along the goal line and it's cleared away. But that was just right, and it just about goes into the far corner. So Millwall 2, Everton 1. Danny Ings gets the goal, and Kevin Morales almost got his second goal of the game in the 61st minute, but thankfully the Belgian strike went wide the post and out for a goal kick. And in the 65th minute, Glenn Robinson offloads the ball towards Suzo here, who takes aim, but it's a good save by Akinfeev, and Everton cleared the ball away as well after the Russian goalkeeper made a good stop there. And in the 78th minute, Liam Kane gets on the ball down the right hand side. He's taken on our former fullback Jack Robinson, and he's just dancing with him, just getting around him really easily, crosses the ball in, but Anderson Rodriguez's finish goes harmlessly wide and out for a goal kick. And that was how the game would finish, a 2-1 victory. So I've said before, before, if we are going to get ourselves, you know, into this race, into the title race again, we'll also have to consider goal difference. And whenever we win our games, they always seem to be by like 1 or 2 goals, and never any big wins. But even so, the 3 points is the most important thing, and I'm just glad we got the win, to be honest, and didn't slip up there, as we do everything we can to try and keep ourselves in this title race. We then had our scout reports here, and I think I signed 1 or possibly 2 players here, and then rejected the rest. That was the last scout report of all the scouts for the season, as they've completed their 9-month assignments. We've picked up quite a few players, but most of them have been quite substandard, which is obviously what it's like on FIFA 14 in terms of youth scouting, so that's a bit of a shame. But at the end of the day, hopefully one of those will turn out to be a good player in the future. And there you go, and we take on AC Milan for the second and final game of today's episode in the Champions League quarter-final second leg. And of course, in the first leg we won it by 3-2 after coming from 2 goals behind. But of course, we knew that because AC Milan had those 2 crucial away goals, if they scored just 1 goal here, we'd have to score as well. So obviously going to be very difficult to take them on at San Siro. And the first chance of the game would fall in the 4th minute here, as we play out from the back. Liali gives the ball to Eric Dier, who finds our left back Luke Shaw. He flicks over the top towards Scott Triggs, and the man with no legs collects the ball. Step overs around 1 and gives it to Luke Shaw. Shaw finds Michael Ngoo. Quick little fake shot, goes through 1-on-1, but it's a good save by Mignolet, and it's turned behind. So Ngoo, who terrorised AC Milan in the first leg after coming off from the bench, I gave him a start, and he almost scored the opening goal of the game. But it was AC Milan who had the closest chance in the 25th minute, as Benzia struck this free kick, but thankfully it ended up hitting the bar, and we managed to put it behind for a corner via Ricky Tilson. So Benzia hitting the bar and almost giving AC Milan the lead they need. And as El Shaarawy takes the corner, it's crossed in towards Vergara. The header is blocked, then the shot hits the post, and at the far post, Benzia drags the shot wide. So Benzia almost making it 1-0. There were 2 separate attempts, and twice AC Milan had hit the woodwork in just a few seconds. So very dangerous. Milan were growing in confidence, they were playing better, and that is why it was no surprise to see them take the lead in the 33rd minute. Some poor defending by me, but as El Shaarawy rolls in Adnan Januzaj, the Belgian finishes the ball really nicely, and the former United man makes it AC Milan 1, Millwall 0. So they needed to score, and unfortunately they have, and that means now we need to score. So Milan take the lead through that man Januzaj, and on the stroke of half time, well, my defending once again was really poor, and as Alaba finds Fossati, he plays it back to David Alaba, ends up playing it back to Fossati, and his shot is saved by Liali, but El Shaarawy follows up with a rebound and makes it AC Milan 2, Millwall 0 on the stroke of half time. So again, going into the half time dressing room, we will be 2-0 behind against AC Milan. You know, just like the first leg, we're 2-0 behind, and it is not good. So we needed to come out flying in the second half, and in the 64th minute we had the chance to make it 2-1. Ezekiel gets on the ball, he's round the last man, he's 1-on-1, and he's not going to miss there. So Ezekiel makes it 2-1, and we are back in the game and back on level terms on the aggregate score. But because of the away goals, it was currently AC Milan who would be going through. And in the 68th minute, Januzaj, who was causing me so many problems, finds Pereira. He plays it back to Adnan Januzaj, and it is Januzaj who gets the goal, makes it 3-1. And unfortunately for us, it looks like we are going out of the Champions League. It's now Milan 3, Millwall 1, and we would have to score again if we were going to keep ourselves in the game. So Januzaj was just tearing me apart in this game. He was certainly going to be celebrating with some Nando's after the game, because he was in superb form. And in the 75th minute, we had to respond. We had to get another goal. And as Ricky Tilson collects the ball, he rolls it through to Michael Ngoo, who goes through 1-on-1, and he does finish it. So AC Milan 3, Millwall 2, and we are back on level terms on aggregate, and also on away goals as well. So 5-5 on aggregate, but both teams had scored the exact same away goals. That's 2. So as things stood, we were going into extra time, but in the 88th minute, AC Milan almost won it, but thankfully after my shambolic defending, Pereira went through 1-on-1, but Liali made a brilliant save, bailed me out, and took us into extra time here at the San Siro. So still AC Milan 3, Millwall 2, 5-5 on aggregate, and of course that meant that 2 away goals each means we do go into extra time. Nothing happened in the first period, but in the second period of extra time, straight from kickoff, we went down the right hand side. Ricky Tilson finds brilliant Makola, fake shots around Vergara, goes down the right hand side, fizzes in a cross, Mignolet spills it, and who's there? It's that man again, Michael Ngoo. He always comes up big. He heads the ball in from close range and makes makes it AC Milan 3, Millwall 3. So what does that mean if you can't keep up? Well, it does mean because of the fact we've got one more away goal than Milan, and we're now one goal in front on aggregate, AC Milan would have to score 2 goals if they were to go through. Otherwise, we will go through on away goals if they just scored 1. And of course, they didn't score any, then we'll be going through anyway with 6-5 on aggregate. So it was 3-3, 3-3 on the night, and surely now we're going through. We did concede a penalty in the 120th minute, just as the game was being closed out. I lunged in with Gutierrez like an idiot, and Milan had a penalty. A chance to give me a late heart attack here as Alaba would stand up and take it against Liali. Of course, they'd still need to score a goal after this if they would convert from the spot, but even so, it was still a chance to them. Alaba stands up and takes it. Liali saves it, but it's just my luck. It falls straight back to Alaba, who turns it into the empty net. But I knew for a fact that Milan wouldn't get another chance. They didn't. We hold on. We may lose the game 4-3 on the night, but because of the away goal ruling, we are through on aggregate after a 6-6 draw. We scored 3 away goals compared to their 2, and we are through to the Champions League semi-finals after one of the best quarter-final Champions League ties of all time. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.